Hey, what's up? Welcome to a very special episode of 4GQ TV. On today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about Luke Cage and then cut into a world premiere interview, actually, that Paris from the Marvel Cinematic Facebook group had done with the actor that plays Luke Cage. Paris, how exciting was that for you?
Oh man, it was awesome, to be able to spend a couple of minutes interviewing Mr. Mike Colter, the star for Luke Cage. It was one of those surreal moments where I was like, "Oh man, this is actually happening." So I'm very excited. I'm excited to do it for 4GQ TV. Let's go. Let's have some fun with this interview and things like that. So I'm happy.
Absolutely. And I know that PK as well is a huge fan of Mike Colter and Luke Cage. So this is something that's very exciting for him to be a part of as well. And I just want to say this, as a kid, I used to read a lot of comics and I've come across Luke Cage, come across Iron Fist, and it was just so cool to see those comics back then. And I know that one of his abilities that I think is really amazing is the fact that his skin is invulnerable. I think that makes him very unique because it's not like that he's got the titanium like Wolverine. This is a whole different idea, and he's more of a guy that is just out there doing things, taking down the bad guys, and that's a lot of fun. I mean, what do you guys think?
So for me, I thought, reading Luke Cage as a kid, a lot of his stories were so out there and ridiculous, but they were awesome at the same time. And I remember I just was talking to you guys about the one story where Doctor Doom hired him to do something, and I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but basically, you know, he went on an entire adventure. I mean, it was like watching the Saturday morning cartoons. He went on an entire adventure, kicked some butt, and then he came back and he didn't get his money. and then he had to put the smack down on Dr. Doom to get his money.
Right.
But I thought that was hilarious, but it was awesome at the same time. And there's other iterations of him. I remember when there was a Marvel game, Marvel's. I played as him. I mean, he's just an amazing character. He has this um, uh, ground level feel for a hero. I mean, he doesn't wear a mask for a reason, right? He's not afraid of no one. He actually is trying to attract attention to himself. He'd rather be the shield for his community than allow them to be the target. That's what's special to him. That's what makes him separate from the other heroes because he does care about his neighborhood. He protects the people around him, and because not every hero can go to space, right? So
Right.
that's separates him from the others. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, he being a street level hero for hire. And PK, I remember that when he was talking about where's my money, honey, to Dr.
Yeah.
Doom, have me cracking up in the comic there. But yeah, he being street level, sort of protect the community, but then he also knows he's got to get paid. So this ain't for free. We
Right.
don't want corporations and things like that taking advantage of him, thinking that he's going to do this stuff for free. So he's like, hey, let me join up with the rest of the defenders, and let's get paid for doing the stuff that we normally would do. We're heroes for hire. Call us. Here goes our card. So I think that was really brilliant by Marvel to sort of set that up. But his story alone, like he was in jail and got out, and then all that other stuff. He was in the gangs when he was little, growing up, and I think it was Harlem. Was it Harlem? Yeah, Harlem. So things like that, really relate to a lot of people that in the world today. So I think that hopefully we can see more Luke Cage here soon.
Yeah, and that
Yeah. Go ahead.
from what you just said, it really gives Luke Cage a real in-depth character, it gives him a strong backbone to his history, and I think that is what makes him the way he is. And I think that's very important when you're building an origin for a superhero, because sometimes you don't get all that in-depth knowledge. But that's amazing that Marvel did something like this for Luke Cage. And I know
Yeah.
that Paris,
Go ahead.
you had done the interview with him, and I think that right now maybe we could kind of cut to that and then come back with some more ideas.
Hey,
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm
yeah.
with it. Let's get it. Let's see what this magic happen.
Awesome. Yeah. So we interviewed for a few minutes. Please go ahead and take a look. It was Mr. Mike.
Hey, what's up, Paris?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Great. It's a cool name, man. I love that name, Paris. I know Paris Barclay, obviously Paris Hilton, but Paris Barclay is a director, a brother who's a director. I think he's a director of the Guild, actually, or was a director for a while. Yeah.
Oh, really? Really awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to look him up. Yeah. Thanks for taking the time. It's pretty cool that you're able to come on and meet some of the fans. And I'm a big fan. I've been watching you for a while, all the way back to you was on the Parkers. So
Oh, geez.
so you got some long-term fans out
Who
here.
knew when the Parker?
Yeah. So what's your day to day, man? Like what's been going on with you? I know I see that you're gonna be in a few new movies. I know you were in Luke Cage. That sort of was, one of the things that I jumped on here for. I'm a big Marvel fan. I run the largest Marvel group on Facebook. So I was like, you know what? Let me talk to him about some of this stuff. So like, what's your day to day?
Right now, I'm finishing up the second season of a show called Evil. I'm on. That's on Netflix. Hopefully, it'll be out soon. We were behind. We should have probably premiered by now for a second season, but it's going really well. Got a couple more episodes. I've got a movie probably coming out, I think, called Till Death. I think it'll come out probably September 2, around sometime the last quarter of the year. Really cool movie that I'm really proud of, with Jason Sudeikis and Evangeline Lilly and some Shea Wiggum. It's some really cool people in there, man. I'm really happy about that movie, so I'm looking forward to that coming out. And then
Awesome.
So I'm working still.
Working, yeah, COVID and all. It's difficult times.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, difficult times. Hopefully, you guys please stay safe and.
Well, I got double vaccinated. I got my second vaccine over a week ago. And we test every other day. So
yeah, awesome. I got my first shot. I'm waiting on the second one.
Which one you get?
I got Moderna.
Oh, murder! You got to call it murder. You got murder.
I got the murder shot.
Oh man. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be all right. I didn't have any symptoms, but sometimes I heard that Moderna puts you down for the second time, or at least a day.
Awesome. It looks like I think we're almost out of time here. They got us on a countdown. So it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you. Much success for you and your career. Hopefully Marvel Studios could do something for Luke Cage in the future. Fingers are crossed. All the fans are rooting for you.
I know, me too, man. Fingers crossed. Hopefully something will happen for us.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you, man.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. All right. Bye.
Wow, Paris, what an amazing interview that was. I gotta say, I'm impressed. Mike Colter seems like a very awesome dude to speak to. And PK, what did you think of that?
So I thought that was great. I love being able to sit down and just pick the brain of these awesome people who play characters that you love. And, it seems to me that he is definitely passionate about the projects he's attached to, and definitely want to see more, right? A huge fans of Luke Cage. I mean, he knocked it out of the park. He embodied Luke Cage and kind of gave us a different viewpoint of what this character could look like, right? And I just generally love the show, how the show is put together, the music. I mean, everybody that I know when we was watching the show, the music is the first thing they thought of, because when you see the promo, you see Mike on the cover as Luke Cage, you listen, you hear that music, and everything just seemed to connect. But what was awesome is how he was able to show the pain that Luke Cage carries on his shoulders, but doesn't run from it, but embodies it, and uses that as energy to push forward to protect his neighborhood. I don't know, what do you think there, Paris?
Yeah, Mike Colter knocked it out of the park with Luke Cage. I think during our interview, he was like saying that he's really excited to get an opportunity to play him, and he was in, I think, 2 seasons of Luke Cage. He did a season with Luke Cage when he was in for the Jessica Jones, I think, first season. He also was in the Defenders when they did that on Netflix. So they did a lot of shows with him, and I think he got a lot of pub and a lot of great feedback. The way he, like you said, the way he embodied that character. There's a few people that were in Luke Cage that also moved over into Marvel Studios. Marshall Ali, who's going to be playing Blade. There's a few other folks that were in Luke Cage that are big time stars that were in some of the, I think, in the Mandalorian. Rosario Dawson, she was in Luke Cage. Now she was in the Mandalorian. So it was a good sort of step off for a lot of these actors. And for him, he's still out there working. He's got a few shows out. He was just an Evil. I think during our interview, they were trying to wrap it up, but due to COVID, it sort of got delayed a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to hopefully see that, if Marvel Studios can grab Luke Cage and bring him into the MCU as a street level character, as you were talking about, PK, hopefully he doesn't have to go to space. He can just be right in the hood in Harlem.
The thing about Luke Cage is he also has a lot of characters and partners that expand his universe.
Right.
Right? So all of those characters, like, that we've seen in Defenders, like, Iron Fist and pretty much there's a lot of street level characters that also fit into this world. So it makes sense to me. I mean, he got the look, right? He got the look. I mean, just, right. I mean, and not just that, they in the show, they gave us so many Easter eggs and throwbacks to fans, right? When he broke out of jail, he had the yellow t-shirt with the chains and the metal thing on his head, and that's a callback to the original comic. I mean, they did everything they could to modernize the old school story. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important because you want to tell stories that relate to your audience, that relate to your readers, that relate to the fans, because I think that was part of his character, right? He was not, I mean, don't get me wrong, he has partnered and joined the Avengers at some point and work with those guys, but he's not the dude that's want to go and partner with Guardians of the Galaxy, right? He's not that kind of guy. He's the guy that want to make sure that little Elmwood around the corner isn't doing drugs or whatnot, and he's right. The man who's going to stand in the way. And I felt that way watching the show. And like I said, the way Mike portrayed him, you can, at least to me, I could see that he is embodying those pains on those layers and trying to figure out what's the best way to engage situations. Like, is really punching everything going to solve it or antagonize it, right? And trying to find a balance or maybe a absolute solution to solve the whole problem. And like you mentioned, Marshall, I mean, their dynamic on screen was amazing, right? That's how I felt. I really felt like the characters on the interactions was great. When it came to Mike, he just delivered every single way. And I think basically bringing Luke Cage back is not only what we want, but I think it's necessary. I think it's important for the bigger picture for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're talking about the universe.
Right.
Well, we can't have a universe just in space. We got to have our universe at home too, whatever that looks like, right? So I definitely think we need to see Luke Cage come to the streets again, and definitely uh, show that strength and defense that we all love this character to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing I'd like to say is that, I mean, after watching that interview and then learning more about Luke Cage from both of you, I think that we really should see him back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He is a very important character. He played many important roles, interacted with other superheroes and other supervillains. So I think that is something that would bring more story and life into that universe. And Mike Colter, man, good job playing Luke Cage. You've done a fantastic job. You are an amazing dude. And man, I hope one day that you come hang out with all of us to talk about this. And
Right.
Paris, anything else that you might want to say before we close out?
Other than the fact that yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. He embodied Luke Cage how we thought he would be. I was nervous about it when it first came out. I didn't know if how I would react to it. And they pulled it off, and they pulled it off for good enough for 2 seasons. They probably would have had more if they had an opportunity. But now that Marvel Studios has all their character base back, I'm with both of you. He should be in the universe, and we should have him in movies or a TV series on Disney Plus or however they want to do it. But I think Mike Colter would be a perfect addition to Marvel Studios, the Marvel Studios universe, and the family that they have going on over there at Disney.
Yeah, I definitely have to. I
Facts.
definitely have to agree. Paris, can you let everybody know where they can find you?
Yep, you can find me on Twitter at plock77. You can find our Marvel Cinematic Universe Facebook group on Facebook. We're the largest Facebook group on the platform. If you search for Marvel Cinematic Universe, we're the only ones with 540K people in the group. So yeah, come check us out. We talk all things Marvel. We just got done doing a cosplay contest. We had a couple winners. They won some cool prizes. We'll be doing some giveaways and stuff like that. So come check us out.
Awesome. And PK, where can people find you?
Definitely find me on 4GQ TV, hanging out with you every Thursday. And we do it big. We talk a lot of good stuff, and we love our comics and entertainment. So best believe there's more stuff coming.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Well, to everybody watching, thank you very much. And I hope that you do check out the Marvel Cinematic Facebook group on YouTube. Go there, join the group, join tons of fans. So many different contests that are done there. So fantastic artwork as well from fans. It's just an amazing place to be, a positive place to talk about your favorite superheroes, your favorite supervillains. And until next time, you can catch us on 4GQ TV. And thank you for watching.
Yeah, don't forget to hit subscribe to 4GQ TV.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. There we go. Let's go.